And I've got a lot of questions, but to be honest,
Sure.
the best interviews that I've done have been when I just shut my mouth and let you talk, and which is great. And I brought her because we wanted a female to interview you. It makes sense
Okay.
for us.
What I do, I think I'll take these water bottles off the edge.
Do you love your Google Glass?
I do enjoy it because when
You
I
do?
do it, yeah.
Made me dizzy.
Oh, well, I'm not reading a bunch of things. I'm actually
Okay.
using it to film.
Oh.
So let's see. When I'm thinking, if I'm talking to you, I'm probably gonna get half. So we'll get some cool angles. Something to know when you swivel.
Yeah. Oh, don't
It
move.
might make them dizzy.
Okay. I can't sit still.
Oh, okay. So that's something to know, Jason, that we'll get a normal chair because swivels
Yeah.
are kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say hello. Hi, I'm Jolene Zhang, and today's interview is sponsored by Startup Bellevue, and we're in the offices of WebTuner. Now, right beside me, you know what I forgot to say? Jason Allen, and I want to give you some credit. Okay. Hi, I'm Jolene Zhang, and this interview is sponsored by Startup Bellevue, led by Jason Allen, and beside me is Bernie Strong. You may not recognize her face, but you certainly will know the companies that she's represented in. So she was the founder of Priceline and past president of Priceline, as well as the CEO of the big one that I remember. It is,
Gemstar?
no, the other one that's big deal.
InfoSpace?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, gosh. Unbelievable. InfoSpace. And right now, she's a co-founder and CEO of WebTuner, and that's where we're in the offices right now. So you have kind of a curious startup here in terms of you got into it through math. Tell us about that.
Well, I didn't get into this startup through
Sure.
math. I went back to technology through math. But I started my career as a college professor of mathematics, which I thought I'd be forever.
Forever and ever. And
Forever and ever.
What took you astray and kept you going somewhere
Well,
else?
New York City, I taught at City University of New York, and New York City had a very bad fiscal crisis. And
You went to go rescue them.
I know, I got stuck in that mess, and since I didn't have tenure, I no longer had a job. I was very young then, even younger than I am now.
Oh, gosh. Hard to imagine.
And so my husband was finishing his residency, and he had an opportunity in California. So we moved to California, and I thought people with great credentials would get jobs teaching, and there were positions teaching, but there were no tenure tracks. So I went back to school and got an MBA at UCLA.
And then where?
And shifted my career from academics to business.
So when did you start getting into the startup? When did you get that? Oh, I must get in.
Well, after business school, I worked as a consultant for Deloitte, and then I was recruited out of there to go and try to save the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner newspaper, which I loved, and I was there for 7 years until Hearst decided to close it. And around that time, one of my business school classmates came to me with an idea for a product on paper, and I became a founder of a company called Gemstar, which created 2 products that you'd know about. One was VCR Plus, where we use little code numbers to program your VCR, because nobody could program it.
Still can't, but
Still
yeah.
can. And our other product was one you've used every day for the last 20 plus years, which is the electronic program guide, the grid guide that everybody uses. So we were known for those particular products. So then I went back from business into kind of tech. That was my first startup.
So when did you start just creating, I need more technology, I want to be with these inventions? What spiraled from there?
Well, after that, since I was traveling all over the world for Gemstar,
Mm-hmm.
I never had the right files with me. So those were the days of luggable computers. I wouldn't call them portables. So I had a file at the office, a file at home, and the file on my luggable, and there's never the right file. So we created a company to create synchronization. So if you synchronized your, today, your phone to your PC, you're probably using some of our code. We sold that company. And then,
By the way, when was that? Because I'm thinking
Way
Dropbox
long
now,
ago.
but that was so before
this
its
was,
time.
yes, this was like 1993 or so. And 94. And then, what did I do next? After that, I became the CEO of a company called USA Digital Radio, which today is called HD Radio, We invented in-band on-channel high-definition radio. So they're mostly in cars today. It was a partnership of Westinghouse, CBS, and Gannett, all radio station owners. And from there, I went to Priceline. I became the CEO of Walker Digital in its first spin-out, which was Priceline.
So I imagine for Priceline, once again, hey, I don't want to pay this, I want to pay this. So you just saw a need and just said, hey, let's do this?
Well, it started as a patent, and the idea was reverse auction.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took the idea of the patent and created a company. And then I was recruited out of there to move here, and I came to take InfoSpace public. My first day on the job was the roadshow for the public offering, and we liked the Pacific Northwest, so when I left there, we stayed.
So you've had a long journey with a lot of powerful, you've been in a lot of powerful positions. And being, of the lighter, the blonde hair and everything, you must have gotten a lot of pushback, a female in this leadership position. How did you deal with that?
By not thinking about it.
How do you not think about that?
You just do it. I mean, you've got to follow your passion. So yeah, I'm sure there was some of that, but you just do it, and you do a good job, and you do as good a job as anybody or better. And you just don't think about it. You can't wear it as a chip on your shoulder. You just do it.
So let's try and see if we can chip away at this and see how we get in here. Finding the strength, because I know that I fought for a law, and there were people saying, oh, that's dumb, oh, that stupid girl, blah, blah, blah. And you hear these different things, people talking about you, and yes, you're passionate, so you go forth, but it's tough to manage. How do you find that strength? I mean, what's your core made up of?
I guess, like most entrepreneurs, the unwillingness to take no for an answer, right? No is an opportunity for another meeting. I don't spend a lot of time dwelling on that. You just kind of do it. Of course, I had, when I lecture at business schools and universities, I always say the same thing. Find the right partner, right?
Okay.
And so I have a husband who is president of my fan club and very supportive, and an equal parent, and believed in what I do and supports me. So that helped, I guess.
Yeah, that helped.
I had parents who always told me I could do whatever I wanted to do. So I guess it started out that way. And I always liked mathematics. And so I just pursued things. I was always the only woman. I was the only woman math major, and I was one of 2 women math professors. And I was in the department, and it wasn't like, it was my normal. So I didn't think about it being abnormal, because that was my normal.
Well, somebody's going to do a biography on her and figure out what she did to get that courage, because there are many of us who want to know, how do we just go forth regardless of what anybody else says? That is great.
I guess you develop thick skin.
So, in terms of, you had said something a second ago, I see it in my Google Glass. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Shoot, I wanted to tag on to that. I can't remember. I'll edit this out.
I hope so.
Obviously. It was before thick skin. It was go forth, passionate. Okay. Oh, building the team.
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about filling the right, yes, we need to find the right partner as in our companion, but in terms of teams, how do you find the right team? Are there a couple of tips?
It's the same thing. Well, a lot of this found me. A lot of the inventors, the founders found me, and I became a co-founder. That happened at Gemstar and Priceline, and even WebTuner. So somebody I did my first company introduced me to the guys who thought up WebTuner, and I became a founder. I joined them in 2008. They'd been working on it for a while, and we made it a company in 2010, because what we do is broadband delivered television, and so we really had to wait for 2 things to happen. We had to wait for internet speeds to the home to be good enough to support good video, HD video, and we needed real content to be streamed, not just cats hanging from chandeliers and dancing.
Hey, there's some really good ones out there.
Yeah, but that happened around 2010. It started coalescing, so we became a company at that time, and we've been working on it ever since, and now we're ready to come to market.
So what I hear from that is just be amazing. So they come to you. So I think that means study. I think that means research. I think that means work hard.
Yeah, it's funny because some of my guys and I were talking this morning and they were saying, golly, we're really getting lucky, but they noticed that the harder you work, the luckier you get. Right?
Exactly.
So opportunity is really when opportunity meets preparation, that's luck. And so we've been working very hard and now we're getting lucky.
Oh, nice. So in terms of, let's see. Glad we can edit. I know this will be kind of hard to think about, but is there a couple of failures? I know
Sure.
it's tough that we can learn something from these startups.
Learning experiences.
Do you have a couple of learning experiences we can glean some ideas from?
Sure. I mean, not everything works, right? So I closed down the Los Angeles Herald Examiner. It was a very difficult thing to do. And I realized I never wanted to ever do that again because the reporters were all going to find jobs, but what were the pressmen going to do? So that's what keeps you up at night. And it was like your best friend dying. You know, newspapers have a real personality. And my first company that I did on my own, MES Technologies, which did the synchronization, that one, it was okay. The code lives on, but the company doesn't. So, but you learn everything you do next depends on what you did before, so nothing's ever a waste. So you always learn those lessons. They're good lessons to be learned.
I'm just hearing that be great, study hard, and always be positive. You're like a positive, like, I'm hoping I'm catching some of this.
Yeah, but you know, being in entrepreneurial companies, the highs are very high, the lows are very low. So you have to have a strong stomach to start with, otherwise you get pretty dizzy. And you do have to be positive because everybody tells you no. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, that'll never work. Oh, you're going to run out of money. Oh, nobody will want it. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, the other thing. And so if you're not persistent and if you're not positive, you can't get up in the morning. You'd stay in bed with the covers pulled over your head.
So how do you're a fountain of motivation. How do you find it? How do you, I mean, I feel like it's core and there's just an endless supply, but are there some times that you really have to figure out what your motivation is to keep you going?
Yeah, there are times. I told you the highs are very high and the
Yeah.
lows are very low, and then you say, why did I do this? Did I really want to do another company? So it's funny because the metaphor I use for companies, young companies, is childbirth. You know,
Oh,
do you have kids?
I do not.
Yeah, okay. So when you have a kid, the last thing you want anybody ever to ask you in the delivery room is, when are you having another child? Because, you know, the pain is too fresh and you're still in it, and then you get this cute little thing, right? And it's sweet and it grows and it's lovely and it keeps doing more things and you forget the pain. So what do? You have another kid. It's the same thing with companies, you know. You forget the pain. And it's hard to start companies. So, but the thing is you grow them and you watch them bloom and you grow people and it's exciting and you forget the pain, so you do another one.
It's almost like you're immune to, not negativity, but it's like you feed on it. It's like you feed on it and like, I want more. I'm going to solve this problem. I'm just talking out loud.
Yeah, but well, there are tons of problems, you know. They're really problems. And what you have to do in a company is make sure you're solving somebody's problem, either the end customers or your customers if it's a B2B company. You have to solve people's problems, in essence. And that's a good thing. This just died, so let me see what's going on. Let me get...
So I actually had a really cool image behind you.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I think we'll leave it off for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. The image behind you was awesome.
Yeah,
There you
let me
go.
get-
That's fine, right? Your guide actually is perfect.
Yeah. Let me just get I want to get a colorful box.
Okay.
1 minute. Hey, Donna, would you tell the guys to bring me a couple of boxes, different colors?